All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to the NLFA. Are you wondering what that means? Today, the show will be on Wednesday at 7 p.m. The wrap up show. Games are played on Saturday. What is the NLFA? It is the Northern Louisiana Football Alliance. What are you talking about? This is a league that has been in operation since 2019 was founded. The inaugural season was 2020. The president of the North Louisiana Football Alliance is Holland Weatherspoon. And you want to know their motto? The next level experience. They have 8 teams, but 4 teams are active. They are based in Louisiana and at Bossier Stadium in Bossier City, Louisiana. That's where the home office is located at. The league began to play in July 2020, the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, completing an abbreviated season. So, I mean, if you look at this thing right here, what is the background of this organization? Each year, countless high school athletes miss out on opportunity to play football at the collegiate level due to a variety of circumstances. Air Force veteran, thanks to your service there for Holland Weatherspoon. I am a veteran myself. Thank you for serving your country and stuff. Took notice in developing an interest in occurrence and decided to create somewhat of a platform to serve as a college alternative for athletes to further their player development, as well as assist them in advancing to more established professional league. So, if you look at this thing right here, this is something that was kept secret in Louisiana. Now we have now come up and we have gotten ourselves involved with this league here on the All Sports All Place Network. We are now going to take it from Louisiana State and bring it nationally. So, why are we partnering with them? This is a good cause because we are a thing that we are trying to get new leagues that nobody has heard of on the network so people can start hearing about it. Driving more people to want to be a coach. It's not just for players. If you could be a coach, you go down there and you can have an opportunity to coach and get yourself into a high school program or a college program. It's a learning tool. It's a learning ability to get an NFL, to get a college guy who can't go into college, who, for unknown reason, like me, I'll be frank with you. If this was around when I was in high school, coming out, I don't know if I would have gone into the Navy. I probably would have gone down to north part of Louisiana and join this thing and play football. I miss playing football, but now he has taken the opportunity to give these kids who cannot get into a college program that wants to continue to play football, and maybe somehow a scout will end up watching us on the All Sports All Plays Network, go down there and scout some of these players. These are hidden talent players that are not on a full level of scales with college, but they get there. There's a development league type deal. So, I mean, this is a good thing, a good start right here. You got to give you kudos with it. Now, why are we doing this right now? We are getting, because the game doesn't start until Saturday. We'll break down some of the two games, a double hitter for the 4 teams. But we want to give you some insights on this league. We want to give you some insights on the organization itself. They play under normal football United States rules. You got the 1st and 10. You got, certain areas of the games and stuff like that. Um, let's see if I can find the rules here a little bit, and we can give you a little bit of insights on the rules. We're not going to read all the rules. You can go to their website at, NLFAfootball.com, and then go into About Us, and then they have the rules in there in football. All players must have agreed adult waiver from NFL player agreement for participating at, 18 years old, but no older than 35 to participate. So they do have an age limit between the 18 and 35. At the start of each game, the captain from both teams will meet in midfield. It's the same exact rules in college and the NFL. They go and meet in the center field. They both have a coin toss. One choose offense, one choose defense. The loser of the coin toss has the choice of direction, basically the same thing, the timing, and overtime. Games are played on a 60-minute continuous clock with two 30-minute halves containing of two 15-minute quarters each and a 12-minute halftime break. NFL rules, NFL clock. Play clock. Each team has the ball and spotted. A team has 30 seconds to snap the ball. They still got the clock. Clock stoppage. Clock stops on timeouts. They got 3 timeouts for 30-second timeout per halves. During a team timeout, the game clock will stop. Unused timeouts do not carry over. In the regulation, there will be a 2-minute media timeout at the end of first and third quarters. That's a little because usually it's only in the fourth quarter in college, so that's a little, and pros in the second quarter. So that's a little bit unique right there. That's something that you might want to look into and make sure you know that. 2-minute warnings during the last 2 minutes of each half. The clock will stop for a total of 30 seconds. Officials' discretion. Officials can stop the clock at their discretions. For first downs and change of possession, touchdowns, and penalties. If the score is tied after the end of both halves, the game will then go into overtime. What is some of the overtime rules? Each team allow a minimum of one possession from the 20-yard line, red zone. So that's pretty much the same thing. So if you know United States football rules, you know their rules. So, that's a very thing. And it continues on with the thing, touchdown, 6 points, point after 7. We all know that. The field is the minimum dimension are 40 yards by 80 yards with two 10 yards in zones. First downs are awarded every 10 yards. So we know all that. So the ball is spotted where the ball carrier has the ball. Forward progress will be measured by where the ball is when the carrier stops. So that's pretty much everything. So there, you know the rules. You got the rules already out of the way here. So, pretty much if you're going to watch the game on Saturday, we'll tell you here the times in a minute, and I'll break down a little bit of the game for you here on the NLFA Wednesday Wrapped Up show. Even though we started a little later than what the normal time, it's going to be 7 p.m. So we'll be starting next week at 7 p.m. with a great format where we'll get you the highlights from the Saturday game and tell you what the thing goes, and then we'll break down the next game for you before that game is played on Saturday here on the All Sports All Place Network on the NLFA. So let's get some stuff out of the way here. Let's get some stuff out of the way here. If you want to know about us and Linktree, that's what it is right there. If you look in the comment section, I put the link in the comment section. It is HTTPS Linktree with a dot between the R and the 2 E's / ASAPnet 2022. And you can get there, you'll find where we're all located out on the net, on the social media and stuff like that. So we got that. If you want to go ahead and support, by us by sending stars. Stars will help earn money to make more content, and you can do that on our Facebook. It's a Facebook monetization. If you like our content, we can put more content, just like this new show coming up here, and we can, we can do a lot more stuff with graphics and stuff like that. If we get people to help us out. So that's how you can help if you want to go ahead and help us out. And let's go ahead. We got the hype video for the NLFA. Here we go. There we go. That was a quick, short, divisive hype video there. You get you a little bit of game action and stuff like that to see what you can see on Saturday. So let's go ahead and talk about what happened last year here. Get you caught up on the season that happened. Let's go ahead. Let me get the share up the screen here. I have to do the Windows thing. There we go. All right. So we're gonna get you caught up on the season that happened the past season. We get you some of the lineups here. Let's talk about these here. Trying to get everything going here. So let's go ahead and take a quick break, real quick, so I can get this thing set up for you. We'll be back on the NLFA Wrap Up Show here on Wednesday on the All Sports All Place Network. I am Ray Cruz. We'll be right back.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
What did you say?
I said Kobe Bean Bryant has been overrated ever since he passed away.
Now, I'd say they could lose about 4, but I don't see them losing 5. You know what I mean?
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Fox D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at foxdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the NLFA, the Wednesday wrapped up show here, the start of the new episode on this new organization here that people have not heard of. We're going to bring it light here internationally on our platform. So stay with us here every Wednesday. I am Ray Cruz, and I have a co-host. Hopefully next week he'll be here. He has some other invited stuff that come up at the last minute. So I will be here on Wednesday night. I will be the host. We might have some different co-hosts, and we'll get the highlight of the games to you next week. So let's go ahead and break it down here for you. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. This is last year's teams. The Bombers was 6-5 with 1 loss. They were number 2 was the Lumberjacks at 6-4-2. The Roughnecks 6-3-3, and then you had the number 4th place team, the Rattlers, who were 6-0 and who is 0-6 in this organization here. So that was the 2002 thing. Let's go back here, and then and then let's go here and bring this up here a little bit closer to showing you here. All right, let's go ahead. This is the other side of the league. You had the Lumberjacks, who were 2-2. You had the Rattlers, who are 1-0-1. The Roughnecks, which is 1-1-0, and the Bombers, which is 2-1-1. So let's take a look here at the playoffs here. I'll bring that up to you. You can see what I'm doing here. All right, the playoffs. The Bombers took care of the Rattlers. The Bombers moved up. The Lumberjacks took care of the Roughnecks. They met in the semifinal. Lumber in the finals. I'm sorry, and the Lumberjacks won. So the Lumberjacks was the 2002 champion of the NLFA league last year. So you gotta give your hats off. Give a clap to. You gotta give a clap to them. Good job on the win there for last season. Well, we're gonna get ready for this season. We got the hype video and all that stuff that we played on you. So let's get this thing here. Let's move that down a little bit there. So that's a thing right there. So we got the Lumberjacks. So we're going to be talking about them too here momentarily when they play their first game of the season on March 18th. They will be playing at 4:15. The game is at South Bossier Park in Bossier City, Louisiana. If you're in the Louisiana area, you get your tickets there. Go down there and support this great organization. This is a great time. You can watch some football, watch some power hitting down there in Louisiana, and you can come back on the All Sports All Place Network for the NLFA to watch the highlights, and we can break it down to you a little bit more, and then we'll set you up for next week's game. So it's all in the play here today. It's all in the play. This is the format. This is the place to be here on the great All Sports All Plays Network. Great things are coming to you. We got more stuff coming up, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just tip of the iceberg right here. So let's go ahead and talk. Let's go ahead and bring up. This is your 2002 first team offense. First team, the 2002 All-Star NLFA, the tongue twister. First team offense. You had your quarterback, A.J. Lesser from the Bombers. You had D. Banks Jr. from the Lumberjacks. And your third quarterback was E. Ortez from the Roughneck. Then your three running backs are Richardson from the Bombers. Look at that. The Bombers had it going on the running game there. They have another running back who is there on the first team also, and D. Poods. So, and then you had DKC from the Lumberjacks round out the running backs. Your wide receivers is Jacob Hudson from the Roughneck, William Rattler, and then you can see go on forth on down the line there. Let's go ahead and move this thing a little bit more here. We got more. This is your first play, your special team for 2022. There you go, man. We got it all here for you. We got it all here for you tonight. We're giving you the thing. We're giving you some background from last season. These are your 2022 all NLFA first team defense. There you go. I'm telling you, man, they hooked us up with some good stats here. So there you go, right there. That is your 2002. You are now all caught up. You're ready for the 2023 NLFA season, the inaugural season here on the All Sports All Place Network for us and the NAFA. So inaugural season for us on the All Sports, not for them, because they've been in the league since 2019. They had this thing up. We are now closing in and trying to bring this to a national level so they can get more people in there, so they can activate more teams, get more coaches. We can help them all here. You can help them. Hey, man, let's go. Let's chime in. Let's bring this thing on home on Saturday. Let's go. We got to get this thing. We got to get jam-packed down there in Louisiana and in Bosnier City, in Bosnier Stadium. So come if you like it, you're in Louisiana, go down there. Hey, if you're taking a vacation in Louisiana, stop by. Get your ticket. Some good football. So there you go. All right. So we're going to break it down here, ladies and gentlemen. The first game of the 2023 season. I feel it again. Let's take that. Let's go. Yeah. There you go, baby. There you go. Pumped up. Get out there, man. Help them teams out. Support them. Hey man, eventually might have some tryouts. We might have some news on that coming up at the end of the season or the beginning of next year. So, stay tuned for that. So, I told you the Bombers versus the Wranglers. The Wranglers, a little bit of backstory for this here on them is that they were activated this season. They temporarily deactivated the Rattlers for the 2023 season. So the Wranglers are in their first in the eligibility on this season here. The Rattlers been temporarily deactivated. They brought the Wranglers in for that fourth spot team. So they do change in or out of the teams here if they think they got a team that is ready and a team that is trying to rebuild. So, that's a little thing. That's a little nugget right there to let you know. So the Bombers versus the Wranglers. All right. You've seen the Bombers and you've seen the running back. His name is Trey Richardson. He is a 5'7", 200 pound from Shreveport, Louisiana. His fourth year. He is all first team NLFA last season. When his running mate is gone, it's going to be him. And then you got to look at the other running back in Demoz Jenkins. He's 5'6", 170 pounds from Shreveport, Louisiana. He's in his fourth year of this league. So there's a little bit of things right there. You got to look. Is it going to be the new running mate for him? But you also got to look too. They got a third running back on there. He's 5'9", 205 pounds from Ruston, Louisiana. His third year. Roger Long. So they got a core of running backs there to help out and stuff like that. So I'm going to go back here a little bit in this first team ballot here. I'm looking at. They're also looking at the Bombers. D. Smith was tight all first team. They don't look like they don't have a tight end here. So you could be seeing an extra party, maybe an extra offensive line or some defensive players line up in that tight end for extra blocking, or they could set you up and go out there and do, three wide receivers. And you got to look at the fourth year from Shreveport, Louisiana, 6 foot, 160 pounds, DeMar Smith. So you got to look out for him on the thing. And then you got to look at the fourth year from Shreveport, Louisiana. There's a lot of Shreveport, Louisiana people here on this roster. So at some point, these guys could have played with each other. So they might know some familiarity with each other. So that could be an advantage for the Bombers to start off with the Wranglers. We're gonna get to them in a minute here. But if you look at Daniel Ocon, they do have a rookie quarterback and Zachary Lipson. He's from Detroit, Michigan. He's 170 pounds, 6'2". So if Cohen gets in a little bit of trouble, he's a little bit undersized, but he's got heart. He's got the heart. He's 209 pounds, 6 foot. Fourth year. So we're gonna see how they gonna do. We can see some formation here. You got the head coach is Holland Weatherspoon. AJ Lesser is the assistant coach, offensive. Travis Kane is the defensive coach. Bill Geiler is the defense special team coach, and Nick Clark is assistant coach of the offense there. So you got to look at here. You want to know a little bit about Mr. Holland Witherspoon. We got a little bit of detail about him. So let me get my notes up here, and we're going to talk about him a little bit here. Coach Hollandworth, his third season, he's 9-9 in regular season, 2-2 in postseason. So there's a little bit of thing. That's a little bit of his record right there, coming into the season. So let's see if he can try to take the Bombers and move them back up into that, and back into the top echelon, and get his record a little bit more, and see if they can try to go undefeated this season here. But the first team up on that game is at 2 p.m. on Saturday, March 18th at South Bossier Park in Bossier City. And you got the Wranglers coming up here. You got the Wranglers coming up. So let's talk about the Wranglers here a little bit. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna bring up the Wranglers roster here so we can get some information about them. Since they weren't in the league last year, they were deactivated, and the Rattlers got deactivated this year, and the Wranglers has come up and took their place here. So let's talk about here. Let's talk about this Wranglers team. All right, we got a little bit of stuff here. So we're going to look here at this Wranglers team here at a certain point. I don't know if all this is their roster, the whole roster or not. It's looking like it's a little thing. So let's look at Keon Cobb, the running back. He's in the second year out of Atlanta, Texas, not Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Texas. 212 pounds. He's 5'8". So he's got to get the game started on the running back because that's the only running back they have right now. And they have an athletic guy in Devin Mims out of Longview, Texas. So he's in his second year. And then you got the defensive side of DT 6'2", 301 pound from Tyler, Texas. He's a rookie this year, and Derek Dillsworth Jr. So if you look at that this first team, let me see if I can find the first team here and look at this first team here. So I mean, this is going to be a nice little thing here on the defensive side. Can their defense stop Mr. Richardson, the running back for the Bombers, the first team? That's the first key. You got to key on him. You got to stop him first. That's got to be the first thing that they look for here. And Kevin Marshall is the head coach. Derek Daugherty, the assistant coach. John Santos, the defensive coach. And Jonah Davison is the defensive coach. So them two defensive coaches right there, and John Santos and Jonathan Davis got to come up with a game plan to make the quarterback beat you. You got to make the Bombers quarterback beat you. So if you have to stack the box a little bit, you're going to have to stack the box and try to stop the run and take Richardson out of the ball game. That's the one key you got to look at in this ball game here. If you look at it compared to what he did last year. So that's something you got to really look at here in these games, in these first games. You know, it's going to be a lot of penalties because the first game jitters, you know, pressure on that first game. So, you know, you might watch a little bit of heavily pilling, but they'll start pairing themselves off in the second and third and fourth quarter when they get comfortable out there. So that's something you got to really look at here. They do have some few inactive players, and Jonah Jenner, the wide receiver, 5'7", 165 pounds, out of Shreveport, Louisiana, his second experience. And you got KJ Jackson, the defensive back, O.C. Connor, the tight end, and Rusty Coghill, offensive lineman. So they do have a few inactive players there. You got your quarterback here, and he is a rookie from Odessa, Texas. You know, the Texas people in football, big football in the state of Texas. So he's 5'11", 215 pounds. He's Nathaniel Train. So that's something you got to really look at too. He's a rookie. You got a tight end in Michael Williams. He's 6'1", 202 pounds from Hallsville. I think that might be Texas. I'm not sure exactly where that Hallsville is at. So you're looking at Galavine Goglock. He's a wide receiver. We don't have the height on him. Jonathan Maps. He's another wide receiver. So Jason Woods. He's 5'9", 185 pounds from Princeton Frederick, Maryland. Prince Frederick, Maryland. I know exactly where that's at. He's a semi-pro. So, I mean, you got a few high schoolers and Michael Williams, tight end. He's out of high school. You got Jason Ryder, offensive lineman, 6'4", 350 pounds from Winona, Texas, high schooler. So you got some beef up down that offensive line. So they got to get down there, get your running back, get low, get behind them big running offensive linemen, and take off. That's one of the game plans there too. So if you look at they're on the other side of the defense, there's a lot of holes on the Bombers defense from that championship team. So you got to take advantage of what you can. Can the regulars do that? They might not have too much tapes on these guys. So, you know, we have to see what's going on with that in this ball game. So to me, I'm going to do a prediction. I'll say the Bombers will probably take the Wranglers, and it's probably going to be by a field goal. You know, final score could be 27-24. So that's who I'm taking. I'm taking the Bombers in this game here. So You heard it here. You can take it. You can take it if they, hey, and if you want to bet, you can go look on there. So you can go look. So um, let me see here. Let me see. So if you look down in the comment, if you look down in the description, you'll see Bet US. Go on there and see if they on there. Hey, you might put them on there. Hey, use our link. I put the link in there too. So use that ASAP. Get you into bet us. So we're sponsoring with them. So good job. Let's move down to the second game here. The second game. Now, these are the teams right here. Let me get the playoff roster back up here because I think this is the repeat of the championship game last year. Oh, no. Bombers won it. The Lumberjacks won it. So the Lumberjacks gets their first defense. They are defending the 2022 NLFA championship against the Roughnecks, which the Roughnecks lost to the Lumberjacks in the in the semifinals. So this is the time for the Lumberjacks and the Roughnecks to get back at them. Can they do it? We are going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at the Roughnecks, the underdogs. You got to be the underdogs to the defending champion until somebody can knock them off. All righty, man. Oh man, get this. This is a very interesting thing here. You remember we talked about the first team offense, the running back, the mate of Richardson from the Bombers. His running mate, number 25, Dominic Pugh, running back, 5'9", 180 points from Shreveport, Louisiana, is now on the Roughnecks. Yes, you heard it here. He's on the Roughnecks. So now you got him going to be the running back there. You got Decoy Morris, a running back, 5'9", 230 pounds out of Shreveport, Louisiana. He is a rookie. So, and then you got your big quarterback. You got Ethan Ortiz, who is 6'1", 200 pounds from Brosner City, Louisiana, in his third year. You have another running back in his third year. Running back 6'3", 245 pounds from Brosner City, Louisiana, Jack Wesley II. Now, you remember all these Shreveport, Louisiana players could be playing with each other. So can this Brosner City, Louisiana. They might play to get with each other because they're both in their third year. And you got an outside linebacker, Jacob Daniels. He's 5'10", 150 pounds from Brosner City, Louisiana. So this team is full with Brosner City, Louisiana. So the hometown crowd will be pumping for this team here. This game will be played at 4:15 on Saturday, March 18th at South Boston Park. Right after the first game, the second game will kick off about 4:15. So there you go, a little bit there on that thing. So you got Pugh, you got a big fool. Look at this guy, man. You got a rookie in Tyler Youngblood. He's defensive end, 6'2", 190 pounds from Shreveport, Louisiana. He could be a monster if he gets in that playing role. But you also got to look at Logan Mayo. He's 5'10", 196 pounds from Boston City, Louisiana. He's also a rookie. And then you got to look. So they got some holes they got to fill on the rookie side there. You still got some outside linebackers and Jacob Daniels, like what I said, he's in his third year. So you got to look at that, and you got to look at the defensive line and Trayvon Jones. He's got to control that interior line. If he controls that interior line, it's going to be a long day for the Lumberjacks, the defending champion. So you just got to look at what you see here on the Roughnecks. They picked up Dominique Pugh, the running mate of Richardson from the Bombers. So you got some people changing teams, changing the dynamics. This could be really a good dynamic here. The coach is Michael Blair. Let me see if I have anything on Michael Blair. Yes, Michael Blair. Coach Michael Blair's first season, he is 3-3 in the regular season, 0-1 in the postseason. So I have nothing on the Wranglers coach, so that's why we didn't go to my notes there. Didn't get too much information about that. So we're going to talk about all season things after these breakdowns here. Let's go ahead and continue on with the breakdown of this game here a little bit. Let's go. Let's take a look. We talk about the Roughnecks. The Roughnecks got a good positive team here. They could change their outlook and go up and maybe try to upset the defending champion right in the first game. Anything can happen in that first game because like I said, you got your nerves, you got your jitters, you got your um, pressure on that first game. You're gonna have a lot of penalties, trying to get the procedures taken care of. Usually, your big penalties are your false start, your offsides on the defense. Not paying attention to detail, getting your mind in conditioning. Conditioning, you'll probably have little bit of cramps here. I don't know how hot it is down in Shreveport, down in Boston City, Louisiana. So you're down playing in the South. So eventually the heat will come and play cramps and stuff like that. So you got the training staff will be on a high alert in these games starting out because usually you get cramps because you're not playing against you're hitting your teammates. Now you're getting to get pound the other team. So that's something that you got to really think about and really understand the concept of the football game. So that's another thing you got to look at here for the Roughnecks. Let's go ahead and let's look at the Lumberjacks, the defending champions. Yes, the defending champions, Lumberjack. Let's see what they look like here. The Lumberjack, Derek Banks Jr., the quarterback, 6'2", 200 pounds, Homer, Louisiana. Now, all he's got some players. He's got some guys from Homer, Louisiana, could play with each other at the same high school. I don't know how many high schools in Homer, Louisiana there is. They could be playing with each other. They do have a Darvez Jackson, the offensive lineman, 6'2", 285. Homer, Louisiana, he's in the third year. Banks, the quarterback, is in his fourth year. The running back is 5'9", 165 from Homer, Louisiana. He's in his fourth year. Chris Williams. So you got another running back in Tyron Turner. He's a running back fourth year out of Homer, Louisiana. So and then you got another running back at 195 pounds, 5'10", Antoine Wiley from Waynesboro, Louisiana, in his second year. But then you got to look at Tamavius Grant, wide receiver, the rookie, out of Homer, Louisiana. So you got to look at him a little bit here too. He could play a big aspect as a rookie. You don't have too much game film on him, so now you're gonna give your defense a little bit of surprise. You're putting him out there, so that's got to be a little bit of thing for Demetrius Grant and working for a little bit of advantage on him. You got Marvin Carter, defensive back, 6'1", 195 pounds from Shreveport, Louisiana. He's fourth. Then you got to look at some of the tight ends here from Menden, Louisiana, and T. Mitchell, the tight end. So we got to see in his third year. So we got to see what they're going to play with the tight end on that aspect there. And then you got Farmfield, Louisiana. You got a wide receiver in Tyler Bowers. And then you got to look at the Long Beach, California guy, his second year, defensive back, Justin LeBlanc. We got to see what he can do on the defensive end, how he can hold up on that end of the perspective against a Roughneck team that now, if Pugh can break that line of scrimmage, you got to make sure your corners and everybody in your back end, your secondary, can make tackles and your safeties and stuff like that. So that's going to be a very interesting thing on the Lumberjacks here. So this is going to be a little bit of a situation that you're looking at here with the Roughnecks and the Lumberjack. With minimum details here we have on this, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to take the Roughnecks by 3, a low-scoring game, 13-10. Yes, you heard it here. I'm picking the upset. I'm picking the Roughnecks. You can take it to the bank because they're going to be surprising. I'm just saying here. So that's the games on Saturday. First game is the Bombers versus the Wranglers at 2 p.m. at South Bosner Park in Bosner City, Louisiana. Get your tickets. You can go to their website and click on the tickets, and you can look at the previews of the game here a little bit. Let's look at a little bit of the previews they got here. Not too much of previews there. So, I mean, I gave you enough detailed information by just looking at the roster and the makeup of their first team all offense and the first team defense, and made a little bit of priority how they could play and try to team up a little bit. So I hope I gave you some good inside information leading up to the first game. Like I said, we have more details coming up next week, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. The NLFA Wednesday night wrap-up show. We'll have the highlights from the 2 games, and we'll have some numbers so we can break down the next 2 games on the season coming up. So, we got all that deals here. We're going to go I'm going to go here and run down some off-season transactions that happened on the off-season. So we have some stuff that happened on the off season between the teams. The Roughneck Jacob Daniels picked up from the Bombers. Tyler Nedlingham was picked up from the Bombers. These are all the Roughnecks. Ted Nailham Jr. picked up from the Bombers. Tajay Horton picked up from the Bombers. Dominique Pugh picked up from the Bombers. And they are going after the Bomber people. And Cachon Domingo was also picked up from the Bombers. Now let's look at the Lumberjack. Xavier Dorsey claimed on waivers, picked up from the Rattlers. Antoine Willahite claimed on waivers, picked up from the Rattlers. Justin Williams claimed on waivers, picked up from the Rattlers. And they signed Devon Youngblood. He's also picked up from the Roughnecks. So they signed him. And let's finish it out here. The Bombers, they picked up Audrey Hilton. Picked up from the Cyclones. And then you have the Wranglers, Keon Cobb, claimed on waivers, picked up from the Eagles. And Justin Maps claimed on waivers, picked up from the Eagles. So that is your transactions of the offseason. This is a little bit of a detailed information show. Got to pick. My picks again is the upset, the Roughnecks, and then I have the Bombers winning also by 3 points at the margin. So you can take it to the bank, cash it, whatever you want to. Hey, look in the description. There's a bet us on there. The link's right there. Go to our Twitter. Links on our Twitter also on the descriptions. You can go there, or you can take our link tree. Take the link tree, and you can see all our social media networks and platforms that we are on here on the All Sports All Plays Network. I'd like to personally welcome the NLFA to the family of All Sports All Plays Network here, and I hope we get it all done and we get more people down there, and we can get this league providing for the North Louisiana Football Alliance. Help the veteran out, and come on, go down there and support these guys. These guys need support just like your college football team, like your NFL teams. They need your support down there. They need the hype in the crowd to get them focused in this ball game. You don't know how much a football team loves the crowd noise. It gets them pumped up. It gets them fired up. So go down there and support your team. Pick a team that you look at. Hey, if you want to take the first two games and look at the team, and then you decide from there, go and help these guys out. Pick your team, show your support. Go down if you're in Boston City, Louisiana for this first game. Go down, support them, man. I have been Ray. This has been a great night. We'll be on a little bit longer because we'll have a little bit more detailed stuff coming in on the Saturday's game. So, my name is Ray Cruz. I am on the All Sports All Plays Network. This is the NLFA. It is Wednesday wrap-up show. It's coming on every Wednesday at 7 o'clock here on the All Sports All Plays Network. Enjoy. Go support the teams on Saturday. And take my picks. You can do whatever you need to. You can take the Bombers and you take the Roughnecks. Upset City. Upset City for the Roughnecks. You heard it here. So we'll see if my picks are right. Hey, we might keep track of them. We'll see. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy Thursday. Enjoy Friday. But get down to Boston City, Louisiana, and support these guys. Good night.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365 365, we making a place. We talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.